Reminds me of my honeymoon.
Get out of here. Everything reminds you of your honeymoon.
Hello and welcome to another episode of JoomCast, the podcast that features people who are part of the Joomla community and discovers how they got here, what they contribute to Joomla, where they're going, and a whole bunch more. My name is Tim Davis of Cybersalt and the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, and I'm here with my co-host Chait Madan of JoomDev, who are behind the wildly popular Asteroid framework for Joomla and Page Builder for Joomla, JD Builder. Hey, Chaitin.
Hi, Tim. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for asking. It's been a while since we had one of these, since, we recorded a bunch of these back to back and haven't been doing this. And I just before starting, we were talking, we haven't been spending so much time with each other.
No, because now that you've been locked down, so now you don't want to talk to me at home. No, we've both been busy, and I think the pandemic has changed a lot of people's routines, even though it's been restrictive. As we found new rhythms, that has changed up a bunch of things.
Yep, I hear you.
You're still on lockdown till end of June?
I think I'm on lockdown till the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we surveyed everyone at our, all the people who we work with, all the people at the office. And we asked them if they wanted to go back to office right away, if they wanted to go back to office 2 months later, or if they wanted to go back to office, at the end of the pandemic or end of the year. And everyone said when the malls and movie theaters open, that's when we want to go back to office. Until that, it's work from home. So I'm work from home for a long period of time, I think.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know about Joomla, Joomla is a CMS or a content management system for building amazing websites.
Let's meet our guest for today. He's been waiting by patiently while we carry on, very much like our wives do regularly. Hans Van Der Meer is the team assistant of the Joomla social media team and pre-COVID-19 co-organizer of the local Jug and team member of the Dutch JuiceDoc Unconference, which was also postponed due to COVID. He doesn't have a Joomla job, but he does have his own personal site since around 2005 or 2006.
Hans, welcome to JoomCast.
Oh, hello there. Hi, glad to be here.
Who are you and what do you do? Tell us, give us a little glimpse of your personal life, Hans.
Well, I'm Hans Van Der Meer. I live in Arnhem in the Netherlands. I don't work in the Joomla world. I have a job making save the data sheets for paints, stuff like that. I like running a lot. I always run. People know me. Whenever they see me, they know I'm running somewhere. And I've been doing Joomla stuff since 2005, I think.
So now how did you get into Joomla? What's your Joomla story?
Well, my wife and I bought a house in another city, and I thought, it would be nice to have some pictures online so my family could see it, that also were living even further away. So I tried a few CMSs and finally ended up in Joomla.
And your website address, which I was practicing, is heerbennikthuis.nl.
Right, hier ben ik thuis.
How does that translate into English?
I think the best translation is "This is my home."
This is my home. When did you register that domain? Did you start right out with the domain at the beginning?
Yeah, it's my first one. And personal is the only one. My wife has 3 websites and I have one, only this one.
I think that's really neat that's the meaning of your website, because I think it's very much in keeping with your role that you play in Joomla. Because here on the podcast, we've had a range of people who are incredible coders, and that is their business, and that's all that they do is Joomla stuff. And then on the to the far other side of things, you are very much not involved in that part, as you said, but it's something very personal to you, and your involvement as a volunteer and what you've been doing over the years is very personal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've started as just a user on a forum, became a moderator there, Dutch local forum, ended up a little bit in the international forum of Joomla, and then thought, well, why not visit a Joomla day? So I visited Joomla day, I visited Jog, and then finally I became a member of the social media team when they were searching for a new person. It was step by step, just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
Now, did it make a big difference that there was such a strong Joomla community in your country, in the Netherlands, with lots of people nearby? Did that draw you into, volunteering and being personally involved sooner than perhaps if you'd been in a more sparsely populated Joomla country like I am here in Canada?
Yeah, it might be true because just in my neighborhood, I know 4 or 5 people who are also internationally known. So yeah, there is always someone living nearby.
And being in the Netherlands, whenever you guys get together, your meetings always start exactly when they're supposed to, correct?
Well, sometimes we're 2 minutes late, but yeah.
So that's pre-Facebook times, because if someone wants to share photos of their house right now, they can just post it on Facebook and the whole family's watching, right? So this was obviously pre-Facebook or pre-social media times when you decided to build a website, right?
Yeah, yeah, true. That's why I would like to have a website back then, just to show pictures.
With such an active community in Netherlands, Hans, and you're familiar, you meet with these people regularly, where do you see the community or Joomla going few years down the line, or down the future? Maybe not few years, maybe next year. With the COVID and lockdown, we're not meeting that much. People are not getting together that much. But where do you see the Joomla community headed from your point of view, what you can see happening in the local community or the local Joomla user group in Netherlands?
Well, you see, you have now 2 directions people are going. We have some jugs have gone virtual, so they have a
Mm-hmm.
virtual meeting either in Zoom or in Teams or another solution.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal the jug I coordinate, I just take a time off. I don't have the expertise in doing Zoom calls or wanting to learn it. I prefer to go and visit people, visit a local group together instead of online. And
Mm-hmm.
if someone would like to step up and start one virtual, that's okay. It's how it goes at this moment. And I think in a few months we can go get together again. I hope, but for now it's not possible.
And when you started volunteering, Hans, whether that be on the online forums or when you were promoted as a moderator in the Dutch forum and all of that stuff, through going those steps, what was your experience like? Did you find the existing people who were in their positions helpful? Did you find them kind of defensive to their positions? What was your experience like climbing the ladder through the Joomla user group, if I may?
Oh, locally, everybody is friends with each other, at least in the Joomla way. So perhaps you don't visit each other at home. That's just fine. But in concerning Joomla, people all can get along, and no one is defensive in their role, or we help each other out. So I didn't. I'm looking for the word. I haven't found any objections by anyone so far.
Now, you've been around since the beginning of Joomla. You've been through a lot of different versions, and here we are on the cusp of Joomla 4 coming out. What's your perspective on the time frame for Joomla 4 coming out? We know that it's experienced a number of delays. How do you see that?
Well, my hopes are that it can come out soon in beta. That probably, hopefully, this weekend or 2 weeks ago when this will be aired. But I think it can take a little while since we also have a lot of alphas. I expect also some betas before we're going for a release candidate or a proper release. But I hope it will be soon. sooner than later.
Hans, if you could point out one reason that you think is the reason for the Joomla 4 delay, what would it be?
Right now we have a lot of volunteers, but we need a little bit more people who can do the actual work stuff. I think I'm not a coder, so I'm not familiar with how much time it takes to write something, but it seems to me that that's the problem: the writing or the checking the code to make sure it's correct.
So Hans, volunteering is obviously a very personal thing for you, as it is for many people involved in Joomla. How can we get people more enthusiastically involved in volunteering in the Joomla open source project?
Well, I wish I had an answer. You see it in the community worldwide, but also in the local community. There are lots of people who are wanting to help, but somehow it just won't get a grip on it. Yeah, it's hard because from the social media team we all also try to get people enthusiastic. So the simple GitHub post in helping test code or something like that, we're trying, but I think perhaps times are changing and people are more into themselves instead of helping a software program like Joomla.
Well, that's an interesting perspective, because a lot of times we focus on the things within Joomla that maybe are preventing people from volunteering, and there are those things, but a lot of times we don't even think about the outside things that are happening that might be having that impact.
Well, we had a huge user base back then, and we've been dropping for years now, and yeah, the reasons may vary why. But if you look in how many people are really helping in Joomla, the group is getting smaller, and you now have different platforms. A lot of people are just using Facebook for all their stuff. Why do you need a website? So that's not helping either.
Well, that's a good point, because thinking back to the beginning when you got involved, had there been things like that, you might not have thought of just having your own website.
Well, actually, we had a Dutch website back then, I think, Hives, but I think I just wanted a website because it was something nice to learn, to have, for me personally.
And it's cool, right?
Yeah, I still like it, but it's the struggle is I have a baggage of 12 years now, I think, no, 14 years in the website, so I've been wanting to upgrade it to a slicker version and up to the 20s we're living in now, and I just can't get my head around it just to even have it look nice at this moment.
Yeah, well, with Joomla 4, that's going to be a great opportunity for you to revisit that.
It's going to be awesome.
And you'll really enjoy it if you do it in Asteroid Framework. I'm going to pop in a little commercial there for that.
I've tested it already.
Oh, good. Hans, what is something that you learned later in life that you would go back and tell a younger you?
Well, after I got my grade, the diploma, I started working because I had enough of it sitting in school, and now I think I've probably should have taken a next level education, a higher education, because it helps. Just having a paper helps in life after it.
Do you think that you would listen to yourself if you suddenly showed up and said, go back to school?
No, probably not.
That's the challenge of visiting ourselves younger. Although I guess it would be, once we got over the shock of seeing ourselves older, maybe it might shock us into doing something.
I probably give myself advice to buy some stock. I had a chance on way back then. That certainly would be a lot worth a lot now.
Okay, well that brings us to rapid fire. Hans, beside the regular suspects, Name a favorite Joomla extension that you use.
Well, having a personal website with almost no extra extensions, I just use the Joomla content editor, but I used to have a website for my running group, and I used RS Form Pro for making forums, and I really like that.
What is an extension you'd like to see developed that doesn't exist now?
I really don't know because I would have tried to ask someone to already develop it for me, or perhaps for himself, and so he can buy, he or she can sell it. So I don't need anything right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's a really good answer.
That's good. It's good to be content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you'd like to change in Joomla, assuming you were in charge?
I would have a more safer environment, I think, because sometimes looking at the last elections, and I'm also a little bit to blame for that, people go in and dive in and type whatever they are thinking, and sometimes it's just better to wait 10 seconds. So a more happier environment, I think.
What's something you like or love about Joomla?
The community. But that's probably because I'm in it full non-work related. So I just love meeting people and talking to them. I've been abroad now twice, once in Rome and in Malaga. So it's so good to meet people, also to meet people from other countries.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that we don't underestimate the power of community in Joomla and how important that is for Joomla's existence and continuing, how we are together, because this is something that has drawn you in and it's turned around to a huge contribution in all of our lives. And we need to understand that.
And also, been working at home for 7 weeks. It was strange adapting to it, and then finally getting back to work and meeting your colleagues face to face. The work goes out faster than just working from home. So I guess that whenever people are together for a J and Beyond or a Joomla World Conference or another event, and if you have a sprint there, you get things more quickly done than if everybody is doing it at home.
What are you most excited about for Joomla 4?
Well, I know code change is a big thing in it, but just as a simple user as I am, I'm interested in a new workflow component. I'm not sure if I can use it, but I saw in Rome already, I saw a presentation of it and I thought, oh, that could be nice, and I hope it can bring usefulness to Joomla.
And last question, name someone who contributes a lot to Joomla.
Well, just looking at my team, I know Alison is always present in Facebook or on Twitter, so I guess the best thing is to name her because she does a lot and everybody knows Alison.
Alison Meeks, yes.
Yeah.
That's the end of Rapid Fire.
Hans, who is someone who is or was a major contributor to where you are today?
Well, that's hard because I have a lot of people I look at, but mainly I am because the choices I made and not because I follow someone else.
Is there anything we didn't ask you that you want to mention or talk about?
No, not exactly. No, not that I'm addicted to gaming late in the night or something like that.
You said you're not addicted to gaming?
No, really not. No, just sometimes until 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay, and so you're not addicted to gaming, but if you were addicted to gaming, what game would you be playing?
I'm an old school gamer. Just stuff from a late 90s, early zeros.
Okay.
And almost all first-person shooters because that's what I gamed back then.
So I'm gonna guess you're playing Wolfenstein.
Well, way back then, yeah. I'm more Battlefield Heroes as a comic shooter. I like comic shooters.
Okay, good.
Hans, how can people reach out to you?
I have a Twitter profile. It's Hans Arnhem, probably in the show notes. A Facebook account is more for people I know and have met personally. I'm also in the volunteers directory, and there you can find all the information.
And they can always check out your website at heerbenixus.nl.
Yeah, correct.
Hans, thanks for being on the podcast today, and thanks a ton for all of your contributions as a volunteer in Joomla. It is what our community is about. It's what our project is about, and we couldn't do it without volunteers, including everybody out there that's listening to this.
Well, also thank you too, both of you, because having the podcast or a YouTube channel or just a free framework people can use, it's also important for the community.
Thank you for those kind words. All right, well, Chetan, that wraps up another one in the can.
Oh yeah, probably the last one for this season.
Yes, tell us more about that, because that's something that we have just talked about, that you just sprung on me just before we did this recording.
Yeah, so we have been getting busy, and I didn't want this to be a slow death for the podcast where users, active listeners are just wondering what's going on, why is there not an episode for 3 weeks. So this is going to be the last episode of season 1 of JoomCast. We're going to take some time, reinvent, and figure out a new flow for the podcast that will come, and hopefully people will like that. So we're going to be back in fall. That's all I can say.
I think that that's a great idea. A lot of things take a break for the summer, so I'm fine with us taking a break as well. So we'll be back in the fall in the Northern Hemisphere. Or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it'll be the springtime. Unless you're in India, where it's always summer.
JoomCast is recorded live on locations using Zoom, Audacity, and a super soaker full of hand sanitizer mixed with dissolved hydroxychloroquine. This week it was Netherlands, India, and Canada.
If you want to reach us personally, my Twitter handle is @BasicJoomla, and Chetan's Twitter handle is @ChetanMadan, ChetanMadan. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites.
And God bless.